Turkey Hunting with Charlie Elliott, William Hovey Smith, 2022. I'm hunting on the Georgia's Clybourne WMA, which is adjacent to the Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center. Charlie was an outdoor writer for Outdoor Life for decades, and also the head of Georgia's Fish and Game Department, and I had a chance to know him during his declining years. After paying my respects at his monument and gravesite, we went hunting.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. I'm about to begin a WMA hunt near the Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center. This is an area that Charlie saw completed actually before he died. And I had an interview with him on that very front porch. And we went through the facility, and now the facility has expanded. There's not only this building, there's a conference center, there are fishing ponds, as well as hunting for deer and turkey. And these quota hunts are held on an annual basis. This particular year, Georgia's population of turkeys is down somewhat. And I've scouted yesterday, the day before the hunt, and I could find comparatively few tracks, but I'm going to hunt an area where I did at least see some. It was a dark and stormy night on the WMA, and those turkeys were up in their pine trees and they were hanging on tight, I guarantee you. So I really don't expect them to come down until about 11 o'clock. So we're going to go out there now and start hunting. This is trucking my first prospecting area, and we're up from a creek bottom a little bit, and there is a road that we cannot take. It goes up to an old logging yard, and there have been some plantings along it. Now, turkeys don't like to walk through very thick stuff when it's wet, like any other game animal. So I'm going to be walking up and looking to see if I want to set up in here more permanently. On my first exploration on foot, on hunt day, I am seeing no sign of turkey. And the problem is explaining why. Because the habitat looks good. There's food here. We have open woodlands on that side. And around the way, we have plenty of water. And we have a freshly burned area on that side. Why aren't the turkeys here? I think it's lack of nesting habitat. Turkeys like real thick, close stuff to nest in, and that is just not here. I've walked over a mile of road and I've not seen a turkey track or a turkey feather or a turkey dropping. Other hunters' tracks I have seen from the previous hunt 2 weeks ago, but no turkey track. We've had a leisurely tailgate lunch, and we had some peanut butter crackers, some Nature Valley minis here, Slim Jims and cheese combo, that's the first time, Vienna sausage, Diet Coke, and basically have sit here and listened for the past hour and a half. The thunderstorms early this morning got everything disturbed and shut up, maybe. Well, they should be down on the ground by now, but they're not saying anything, and they're not, I don't know if they're doing anything. Maybe they just got all tuckered out last night. But I've sat here and I've called a little bit. And I have got no response. Now, I've actually seen a turkey track here, and I went down the road that's parallel to the axis of the truck, and it just goes down to a creek and dead ends, so that doesn't seem to go anywhere. And having not heard anything, I'm going to move out and prospect near some fields that have been planted for dove fields, and the grain is various heights of emergence. While we're sitting here, this is a good time to consider another subject. I'm out here alone on a 6,000-acre WMA. To say the area is isolated is quite true. And Georgia allows for concealed carry if you have a permit, and of very recent days, if you don't have a permit for personal protection use. And I am carrying. Now, when you take a gun like this on a WMA, you may possess it, but in effect you may not use it. That is for anything except personal protection. You may not shoot game with it on a hunt like this. This is a turkey hunt. This gun is not legal for turkey, and you may not shoot anything else with it that might be legal, like coyotes. So if you carry such a gun, be very cautious about how you use it. That being said, we're going to pack up and move and see if we can find us a good planted field. This is our second setup on our second day. And there was thunderstorms last night and they cleared up. It's now drying out a little bit. And we finally have gobbler activity for the first time. I am set up right now on a fresh burn, and there's a food plot behind me in that direction and a hardwood bottom down below me. And I've got two gobblers that have been answering to my calls and to each other. And I've been surrounded by hens all day. But starting now at about 11 o'clock, the gobblers have actually started working the hens for the first time today. And the hens have been calling right along, and I've been answering. And finally, a pair of gobblers have obviously reported for duty and are doing their thing down below me. I'm overlooking the green bottom, as you can see, and we have our decoys set up here within the burn, so they're visible from either the top or the bottom. So from time to time, we're going to call, give the gobblers down below a chance to do their thing, and maybe come up and pick up these hens that have been caulking to them all day.
Make your own job, anytime, anywhere, at any age. A business book for everyone. Create your own job ideas, raise immediate cash, make a better job where you work, copyright your work, patent your inventions, form your own company, plan for a fun retirement business, and leave a legacy. The Kirkus Review of Books considered this a worthy book for the newbie entrepreneur, and the U.S. Review of Books put it on their recommended list. Make Your Own Job, Anytime, Anywhere, at any age is a softcover, e-book, audiobook, and is available from booksellers worldwide.
This is our first setup on the third day of our hunt. And I'm hunting down on a creek bottom. The same area I hunted yesterday, although I hunted the upper part of it. We're trying to zero in on our turkeys. Yesterday there was one hen over here that kept calling persistently, and she's still here. And the decoys and the tom turkeys that I heard actually, I think, crossed over the creek somewhere. But we haven't heard anything of them this morning, nor many of the other hens. And there are more of them on the other side of the creek. So I'm going to pick up and move on the other side right now and reset up there for later in the day. I got here full moon night last night while the moon was still up and before sunrise, and almost immediately after I started unpacking, another truck came in, saw me, turned around and left. Obviously another turkey hunter wanting to set up in the same area. So I do have some competition in here. For the second setup of the day, I'm in a mix of beech and oak forest. And you can see the brown leaf litter and how it matches up with some of the camo, or doesn't match, that I'm using. And also the .45 caliber Seneca rifle that I'm hunting with. This brown litter is actually such that the Desert Storm camo would not be out of place here. Be nearly invisible. Well, again, I've got hens left and hens to the right of me, and they're sounding off occasionally. And I've heard 2 gobblers call once, and they're moving around somewhere. Where, I have no idea. This is our 3rd day setup at Clyble, adjacent to the Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center. Not much has been happening today. We haven't had any turkey responses. It's been cool this morning. It was in the 40s earlier. It was warming up a little bit through the day. Bright, sunny, clear day, but haven't heard anything from turkeys yet. And it's about, well, 2:30 in the afternoon. A few buzzards circling around, but not much activity.
At the end of the 3rd day, I came down with a cough, sore throat, and was fatigued to the point where I could no longer safely hunt, and so I returned home. Although my hunt was a success and that I found some turkeys, I was never able to coax one close enough to shoot with my shotgun or muzzleloading rifle. The newly passed concealed carry law, according to DNR officials, does not apply on WMAs until the game regulations are officially changed. They may or may not change in some future date. In the meantime, only those with carry permits may carry concealed weapons on WMAs. Aging hunters and fishermen in their 70s, 80s, and older are still hunting these WMAs, but under present laws may not take a person to assist them during the hunt. Although another person may film the hunt, they may not carry game, gear, or call for the permitted hunter. I have proposed and will advocate for a special class of senior assisted hunts, or those who are temporarily disabled may be accompanied by a non-hunting partner who may participate in the quota hunt except for shooting the game. For more information about my books, blogs, and more than 800 videos, go to my website, hoviesmith.com. To find out about my business books, go to createyourownjobsecurity.com. To discover how my novel, screenplay, and movie project is coming along, go to fatherofthegrooms.net. Hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Goodbye and God bless.